So you decide to make chicken for dinner tonight, and the recipe calls. So we're gonna write the ratio: 3 and 20. I need some room here. So now write 3 and 20 ounces of cayenne pepper over 2 and 5 ounces of salt. And then we also are comparing 1 and 5 ounces of honey. Okay, and then I'm gonna write over here cayenne. I'm gonna write salt. We want to write honey. So the question is, what happens when I have 6 cups over here? If I have 6 cups in total, how much of the 6 cups is honey? How much is salt? And how much is in cayenne? So the one thing we need to do is find the total here. So you're going to, like I am, if I find mine, please. Oh, I know where it is. My calculator. So in your calculator, you're going to add 3 over 20 plus 2/5 plus 1/5. And that's going to give you a total of 3/4. So what you have to do is find the relationship here. Times, you have to do the same thing, times, and times. But the only relationship that you really have is here at the moment is the 3/4 and the 6. So we can go 6 divided by 3/4, 6 divided by 3/4, and that's going to give us 8. And the multiplier is times 8, times 8, times 8, times 8. So 1/5 times 8 is 8/5. 2/5 times 8 is 16 over 5. And maybe, you know what, I'm changing that to a improper fraction. So it's 8 over 5, or 8/5, or 1 and 1/3, 1/5, sorry. 1 and 3/5. Over here, if we multiply, we get 16 over 5, or 3 and 1/5. And here we get, let's see, 8 over 3 over 20, 2, 5, so we get 6 over 5, or 1 and 1/5. So, and if you add 1 and 1/5 plus 3 over 5 plus 1 and 1/3, you get 6. Okay. Number 2. So again, it's a part to total relationship. So over here we're going to write a velvet cake needs 1 4 tablespoons of red food coloring. And the ratio is 1/4 of red with 1/5 of vanilla. We're talking tablespoons. And what happens, we'll write red over here, vanilla over here. What happens if I end up using 13 and a half tablespoons? How much of it was red food coloring and how much of it was vanilla? Well, one thing we need to do right now is then find the total here. So if I add 1/4 plus 1/5, I'm going to get 9 over 20. Alright, so we need to find that multiplier here. And we're going to take 13 and a half and divide that by 9 over 20. So 13 and, oops, 13.5 divided by 9/20. And our multiplier is times 30. I'll multiply this times 30, which I'm going to get 6. Multiply this times 30, and I'm going to get 7.5. So if you can tell here, if I get 7.5 plus 6, I get 13.5. So we are good. So we have 3 animals. This one is a nice problem. Three animals, and they're drinking water. So the elephant, every time the elephant drinks 3/4 of a cup, the lion, he drinks half a cup. And the rhino, he drinks 3/2 cups, or 1.5. So the question is, what happens when they all together drink 22 cups in total? How many cups did the elephant drink? How many cups did the lion drink? And how many cups did the rhino drink? So we need to find that multiplier, right? That we're missing right now. So first thing we do is add 3/4 plus 1/2 plus 1.5. And if you actually added the decimals here, 0.75, 0.5 plus 1.5, you would get 75, 2.75. So you can write 2.75 as 2 3/4. And then all you have to do is divide 22 divided by 2 3/4. And I get a multiplier. It's times 8. So everything is going to be times 8, times 8, times 8, times 8. Half times 8 is 4. That's the easy one. This is going to be 12. And this is going to be 6. So if you add 6 plus 4 plus 12, you get 22. And that could be how you check to see if your answer is correct. Alright, so a couple of different questions here. A faucet fills 7/5 of a liter in 6 to 6 of a minute. How long does it take to fill per minute? So we want the unit rate. This one, we want the unit rate. Right? So we're going to write 5/7 of a liter in 2/6 of a minute. So the first thing we can do is write this the other side. So I'm going to write 1 minute. Remember what we did the other day. How do we get from this to become a minute? Multiply it by the reciprocal, 6/2. Multiply this by 6/2. This and this and this and this all simplifies to 1. And over here, 5 times 6 is 30. 7 times 2 is 14. We can simplify this, or 15/7, which is going to simplify to 2 1/7 liter per minute. So our final answer is 2 1/7 liter in 1 minute. Now the part A here says how much will it fill in 4 hours? So let me erase this. We're going to take that unit rate. Right, so let me write over here 2 1/7 liters in 1 minute. But then they're asking us 4 hours. Well, I know 1 hour is 60 minutes. So 4 hours would be 4 times 60, which is 240 minutes. Right, so now I can go here, change that to 140 minutes. And it's what? Times 240. So I'll multiply this times 240. So 2 1/7 times 240 is going to give us 514 2/7 liters. So here we're going to go rate. So this is maybe what you should do sometimes. Rate, unit rate, and here's our prediction. So our unit rate, our rate is this: 2/6 kilometers in 4/5 of an hour. Let's change that to a unit rate. So unit rate would be 1 hour. So I'm going to multiply this times 5/4, and then this times 5/4, and we can get 5/12 of a kilometer in 1 hour. That's how much the snake slithers. But the question is, in 16 hours, how far would the snake go? So yeah, change this to 16 hours times 16 times 16. And we're going to multiply that, 5/12 times 16. And we get 6 3/4. If you simplify, 6 3/4 kilometers in 16 hours. Alright, so another same type of question. So we're going to go rate, unit rate, and prediction, right? For 1/9 of a meter, he can fly, Barney, in 1/3 of a cup of Red Bull. So let's change that to a rate, unit rate, I'm sorry. So it can be 1 cup. So what's our multiplier? Times 3/1 times 3/1. We're gonna get here that he can fly 4/3 of a meter with 1 cup of Red Bull. But the question is, what happens when we drink 5 cups of Red Bull? Well, times 5, and then we're going to multiply this times 5. And we get 20/3, or if we change it to a mixed number, 6 2/3 meters with 5 cups of Red Bull. Alright, let's see number 6. A fresh neon paint is designed for a sneaker. There you're going to use 2/5 pints of blue and 6/5 pint of green. So, let's write down. The color that they're going to mix is going to use 2/5 pints blue with 6/5 pint of green. So that's their ratio that they want to use. Every time you use 2/5 of blue, you use 6/5 of green. Now, what they're trying to tell you is that somebody used how many? 6 pints of blue and 15 pints of green. They want to know if they follow the proportion. Do you think they were multiplied by the same number? Well, they have to be, right, in order to be proportional. But let's check. So over here, let's do 6 divided by 2/5. 6 divided by 2/5 is 15. So over here, they multiplied by 15. And at the bottom, let's check. Hopefully it's divided by 15 as well. So it's 15, sorry, yeah, 15 divided by 6 over 5, and that gives you 12 and a half. So, did they use the same multiplier? Did they keep this proportional? No. What did they do? They used a little bit more blue. This should have been the same either. Both should have been 15 or both should have been 12 and a half, but they didn't do that. So they used more blue here. No. Let's see. Now the mixture didn't come out correctly. Didn't come out correctly. Okay. It would be more blue. Why? Because they use more. See how there's 15 blue and 12 and a half green? They used too much blue. Alright, so this one, so I want you to look at the ratios. Actually, I need some space here. First question is how many different fertilizers are there? So they're cheap. So these are the ratios of fertilizers. They use 1 part soil with 3 parts seed. Fertilizer B is 2 soil, 6 seeds. Third one is 3 soil, 4 seeds, and D1 is 6 soil, 30 seeds, and the last one is 8 soil, 32 seeds. So first thing I would do is simplify. So this is 1 over 3. This is 2 over 6. 2 over 6, we can divide by 2, divide by 2, and we get 1 over 3. So this is also 1 over 3. 3 over 12, let's simplify. Can we divide? We can divide by 3, divide by 3, and we get 1 over 4. So let's change that to 1 over 4. 6 over 30, we can divide by 6, divide by 6, and we get 1 over 5. And then finally 8 over 32, we can divide by 4, divide by 4, and we get 1 over, sorry, divide by 8, divide by 8, and we get 1 over 4. So notice that A and B are the same. And then C and E are the same here. Are the same. So question A says how many different fertilizers are there? Well, these two are the same, so A and B, so that's 1. C is different than actually C and D are the same, so that's 2. So so these two are the same, so that's 1 type. This is second type, and we have a third one. Yeah, we have a third one right here because 1 over 5, it's 1 part soil, 5 parts seed. That's different than everybody. So there's 3 types of seeds, and instead of writing 1, 2, 3, I'm going to write A. This is A. Right here. So these two are A. These two are B. And this guy over here is C. So there's 3 different seeds. So the next question says Scott wants to use the fertilizer that has the greatest percentage of soil. Determine the fertilizer that has the greatest percentage of soil or the worst. Which of the fertilizer are the best? So the best one has the greatest amount of seed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase this, come back on the top. Alright, so, and I'm going to write, let me just erase this. This is 1/3. This is 1/3. This was 1/4. This was 1/5, and this was 1/4. So Scott is saying that the fertilizer that has the greatest amount of soil is the worst. Which of these fertilizers is the best to use? So, Now notice that fertilizer A and B is made up of 4 parts, right? So we have, let's call this fertilizer A. Let's break that into 4s. This is soil, right? 1 part soil. This is seed. This is seed. And this is seed. So 1/4. So this is soil. Okay. And that would be 1 out of 4, or 25%. So it's 25% made up of soil. Fertilizer B, so A and B are the same, so this is called A and B. Fertilizer C and E, let's call that C and E, is 1 part soil and 4 parts seed. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is seed, this is seed, this is seed, and this is seed. So out of the 5 parts, 1 of them is soil, or 1 out of 5 is 20%. So that's even worse. So this is only 20%, that's 25%. And the last one, which is 1 out of 5, and that's fertilizer D. So imagine you have 1 part that's soil, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that's seed. I'm just going to write S, 3, 4, 5. So there's 6 parts here, and 1 is made out of soil. So that, let's see what the percentage is. 1 divided by 6. 1 divided by 6, and that is just almost, well, let's round it to 16.7%. So which one has the least amount of soil? Well, this one right here. So that one's the worst. The second worst is this one. And obviously the better one is the one that has percentage-wise more soil, which is either, what do you call it? It's going to be either A or B. So A or B are the best fertilizers. Okay.